Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Final Show Films. I'm John, your executive producer here, and I want to thank you all for tuning in to watch. I especially want to thank our Patreons who support us through this, particularly our $25 tier supporters, Rowan Parker, Trevian Alexander, Samantha Bates, Catwater Flame, and Elle, without whom we wouldn't be able to do nearly as much as what we do now. So thank you all, and thank all of you that are watching. And if you are watching live, be sure to sit back, relax, and enjoy. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Star Wars The Twilight Nights. I am John, your game master for the evening, and, well, the doer of things that we'll soon discover. Also joining me is William.
Going first for one, that's new. Hi, I'm William, and I'm playing Corsarat, the Sith Pureblood Makashi duelist.
I'm just going backwards. And Holly?
I was going to say, salty much?
I was going to say in that case, I'm Holly. Avazia, Geo Berserker, Pureblood Sith.
Yeah, roll Destiny, both of you.
Oh, right. Duh.
I threw everyone off.
Dark.
We are going backwards this week.
This is why for the Saturday game, I just do it completely random every time. So nobody knows. At any point, no one can get comfortable. It's my aesthetic.
Yeah, but I have a image that I move along with the introductions so everyone sees your character at the same time that you're doing your introductions, and it's in a set pattern that I can't rearrange.
I don't know.
But you can run backwards?
I can go backwards and forwards with it, but I can't go I can't
just hop around it.
Yeah. Can't go random. And in the same spot, because there's 5 of you, Jeremy.
Hi, I am Jeremy. I am playing SD, Zeltron, something or other. Yep, that's what kind of a day this is gonna be.
And Mara?
Hi, I'm Mara. I'm playing Nerese, Droid, Counselor, Medic, and Nimin Disciple, and 2 light side.
And Jack.
Hey, everybody, I'm Jack. I'm playing Plunky Kek, the Jawa Seer Consular and Mystic Sage. I think I transposed those. Anyway, and I'm going to roll some Destiny too. 1 dark side. It's 4-2 split.
Because you rolled Destiny 2, that's where they start getting access to the dark powers as opposed to Destiny 1, where they only had light. When last we left off, as darkness threatens to engulf all but 2 tiny specks of light on your Destiny tree, the remaining Twilight Knights had managed to escape from Nar Shaddaa after having some tense conversations, plotted a course for Terrace, hoping to find clues to a Jedi medical practitioner who might be able to assist them, and also hoping that they might potentially find clues to one of the surviving members of the Twilight Order. On the way there, conversations and drama abound. Neres, you would have had another 2 chances to heal critical injuries on Avasia, so
Okay.
go ahead and work your way down the list.
Okay, Avazia, what you got? What's your next hardest one?
Let's see. I've got my character sheet is giving me a difficult time. Hold on. Well, it's not letting me read the bottom one all the way.
Okay.
So we'll go with the one above that.
All right.
Your bottom one is hamstring, which is difficulty 2. You have 2 different instances of hamstrung.
Okay.
Okay, let's
Well,
get rid
I-
of one of them.
Both your
Okay.
legs are fucked up.
Yeah,
I
both legs have
can't
been hamstrung.
press. Okay, I can't press anything on it because my character sheet's giving me a really hard
Close
time
the
tonight.
window.
Okay. Hold on.
Refresh roll 20. and open it
Refreshing.
again.
See, I did this earlier and it didn't work. Hey, it worked this time. Okay.
Hey. Okay.
Because I told you to do.
Do
That's how it works. That's how IT works. The
Yeah.
IT person tells you to do the thing that you swore you did already, and for some reason, when they tell you to do it, it works.
Yep.
and I'm using the force on this because the rules don't say I can't. So here we go. Medicine. I'll take some.
Inflict that strain.
Yeah, I will.
Oh, you're gonna actually inflict strain on Avasia?
No, not inflict strain, but I'm gonna flip those dark side.
Those
Let's
don't
do
become
it.
successes.
Yep,
For flow, they do, I believe.
they do.
Hey, hang on. I thought flow was one of the ones that does different things.
Is flow
depending
one
on
of
what you
those
use.
ones?
Let's find out.
Let's.
We look at this.
I love how
every
every week it's
Every
okay,
week.
but let's
I
look up
never
flow
know.
again to figure out how that works again.
It's a really overly complicated.
It's a
ability,
weird.
okay?
It's a weird ability. Yeah, no, you're
It is.
absolutely right. I'm
Should
just
just put it
amused
with
that
the
it keeps
handouts.
happening.
Just put a
Because that
flow
one's in
hand out.
Disciple. Is that one in Disciple?
Yeah, when making a combined flow
Yes.
power check, may spend either side of force points to add successes to any checks using the same skill until end of turn.
Okay.
I can heal people with the dark side.
All right, so yeah, you can flip a dark side. You can flip a light side to take 2 strain and
Let's do it.
those new successes.
Which
Okay.
I don't comprehend the point of that last control upgrade.
Which one?
The one at the bottom left, because there's no limit on the number of times you can use a force power in a turn. And it seems like you can just use flow on any skill check you make. So why the commit thing to gain it on all skill checks?
Because I don't believe you can use it on any skill check you
Because
make.
otherwise you have to pick a specific skill it applies to. Like it has to keep applying to the same skill during that one encounter. So like I could only do it on medicine checks
okay.
versus being able to do it on medicine, piloting, all sorts of things. It's great.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Oh, until the end of the next turn. Okay, so yeah, so it persists for a turn on one skill, which is why you commit to get all skills. Okay.
Because basically
Anyway.
it's an action every turn.
Yeah, I get another one. So
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You work on-
second Avasia.
Did that one heal?
Yes,
Yeah.
both of them
Okay.
healed. You're healed.
Thank
You
you.
no longer are hamstrung.
Do you still have critical wounds?
I
Yeah,
still have
ones are up.
3.
Your hams are off the strings.
What's okay? That's
There is a
just bad.
slightly dazed the difficulty 2, and then discouraging wound and off balance are both difficulty 1.
It's not so bad though. I don't have 6 anymore, so
That's not good. Still, anyone else have critical wounds?
I don't believe so.
Nope. Avazi is the one who's been hoarding them.
Okay,
Gotta catch them all.
do have critical wounds.
Gotta catch them
So,
all. Death.
Can any of you do? Is it a medicine check
Delightful.
because critical injuries on droids is not particular. It's like
mechanics
wounds are
check.
covered with mechanics.
Critical injuries
is
are
it?
also mechanics check on droids.
Okay. Can anyone do mechanics, or am I going to have to work on myself here?
I can do
yourself.
mechanics.
Do I trust you though?
can
I
you,
don't
or does
know.
Plunk think he can do mechanics?
Plunk has a rank in mechanics.
And rank and mechanics.
Yep.
It's one more rank than I have.
There is
He-
someone.
He has a whole yellow and a whole green die that he can roll.
Oh God.
There is someone on the ship that can do.
The idiot.
Okay. I heal my other wounds. Yes.
A, he's not an idiot. He's just dumb. And B, yes, Ronan.
Those
I've
two
got-
terms are not mutually exclusive.
I've got 3 critical wounds here. So 2 of them are difficulty 2. Let's start with those.
Sure
you
would
gonna-
be nice if Rerun was here.
Who are you asking to do the mechanics checks?
Goodness. Ronan probably.
Okay.
I don't-
Excellent.
Yeah. Sorry, Plunk. I don't.
No, it's fine.
So you come to Ronan.
trust
Don't
you.
want a little Jawa climbing up in your grill? Gee, that
I-
seems very unreasonable of you, he said
Yeah.
sarcastically.
Come to Ronan. One of the days on your way out.
Yeah.
He is at the moment hanging upside down from one of these pipes, doing like inverted sit-ups,
All right.
like hanging crunches kind of thing.
Hello, I need your assistance. I am injured.
Oh yeah, what do you need?
This. I hold up like my elbow joint that's like been buckled in a little bit. I'm compromised.
Looks down, tilts the helmeted head as he sort of
Can you
inspects
fix
it.
this?
Yeah, probably. And he holds a hand out, and just like a spanner comes into his hand as he sort of gracefully, flips off of the ceiling pipe he was hanging off of and lands next to you. Sure. What's the difficulty on it?
2.
Hold still.
Oh, at what point does Avazia escape the 1 critical wound check per day condition of overdamaged?
How many critical wounds do you have now? Haven't
3.
gotten this to- 3? You are now no longer. You can now work on more than 1 a day.
Yay!
You've gone down below half of the 6, or 2 half of the 6. We'll use that. Difficulty. Sorry, what was the difficulty of your
2.
2? 2. Who's die? Still. Mechaniques. Oh, hang on. It didn't roll the thing. Hang on. Why didn't it roll the thing?
I don't know why I didn't roll the thing.
Oh, right, because I have to do it up here. That's why. There we
That's
go.
better. All right.
So
You
yeah,
that one.
he sort of looks down at it, grabs the spanner, grabs your arm, puts the spanner on the joint, begins sort of like loosening the bolt a little bit. As he loosens the bolt, he twists, and if it was a human arm, it would have gone, but it's not. It's a droid arm, so it just clink into place, and then he tightens the bolt back up. And
Ow.
you can. The arm now moves more freely.
Oh, good.
All right, there's that one. What was any others?
How many can he work on?
He can. You weren't as heavily injured as Vasi. He can
Nah.
work on as many of them as you have.
Okay. Second one's also difficulty 2. And then I have 1 more.
What's the second and third one?
Second one's difficulty 2, third one's
No, what are they?
difficulty 1. Oh, scattered senses. My brain's gotten jostled.
And
the
then
other
what's the
one?
third one?
Slowed down.
Okay.
Servos are overworked.
Yep. Oh, good.
Need some oiling.
Okay. So yeah.
Yay.
So he goes through, helps fix some of the. He actually fixes your sensor array, which has been sort of like battered back and forth, and has made a lot of your ability to interpret information more difficult than anything else. So he like pops open the side of your head and reseats a few of your sensors, straightens out some of the antennas, puts that back on, does the same thing on the other side, reseats a new glass visor into the helmet to help you with your visual acuity, because that one was cracked and heavily damaged, and then it goes through and just sort of like lubes up all the joints in all of your limbs so that they stop catching on themselves. And he takes a little file, like a little metal file, and sort of sands down some of the bits of some of the more roughed edges that were catching. It takes him a few hours to do all of this, but he's very you notice that he doesn't really. He's not a measure twice, cut once person, which you definitely notice as he just identifies and fixes the problem. He doesn't stop and plan or analyze. It's like, oh, here's the problem, and he's right every time. So
this disturbs me, but okay.
Yeah, you get your critical injuries repaired. Goes back, admires his handiwork, tosses the spanner up, and as it sort of spins like it's going to come back down and he's going to catch it, it just stays spinning in the air above it.
Ah, show off. Thank you.
No worries. If you need any more help, just let me know. I'm used to repairing lots of things, he says, indicating the sort of battered and beaten he's wearing.
Fair. Did you do that yourself?
No, it was done to me. Do you know very people that run around hitting themselves in their armor?
I meant repairing it for yourself.
Oh, yeah. That I did. That I definitely did. Again, not smart. The only reason he has 3 dice in that roll is because he has in that skill is because he has 3 ranks in the skill.
Oh yeah, yep.
Well, yeah, so you're repaired. Rossi has had some wounds done. Does anyone else have critical wounds that you need to tend to before we return to the scene in media res where we had left off?
Nope.
Not I.
All right, so fast forward. The planet of Terrace, a emerald jewel in the outer rim, lies before you as the ship settles into an approaching vector. And as it approaches, unaware of what you're feeling, the Black Pyramid, Jin, continues to pilot as all the Force users on board just feel this insatiable hunger coming from the planet. From a trillion people, a trillion sentient life forms on this planet, all of which are hungry.
Yeah.
Anyone other than SD react?
Apparently not.
I have food in my mouth, damn it.
You hear a heavy clank from one of the ventilation ducts. Yeah. Plunk has apparently slammed into something.
Stands up
Stick
suddenly.
first.
Avazi will go over to see if Plunk is okay.
You go over to the ventilation shaft and look up.
Are you all right? Okay.
And then the little duct flaps out and his head comes down. Just kind of looking around.
Try
And
not to get
you notice
yourself
the
hurt.
glowy eyes have sunk in and tightened a little bit. They're a lot smaller than normal. Like his
Jawas are Star Wars black mages. Send tweet. Anyways. So yes, you all feel this insatiable desire to devour emanating through your minds and brains. It's the feeling of 1,000 teeth gnawing on a bone, trying desperately to find the last bit of meat attached but failing. The pangs in your stomach that tell you you need to eat and haven't eaten in days. Your mouths go dry. Your teeth seem unusually sharp in your mouth. Which is especially weird for Nereus, who doesn't have teeth or
yeah,
a
I
mouth.
haven't felt hungry in a while.
No,
This is
you
strange.
haven't, and it's invading now.
Plunk just grabs something out of his robes and crams it in his mouth.
Gorswrath looks at the planet through. I'm assuming it's visible on a viewport.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
I hope that's edible because if it gets stuck in there, not
Are you talking to Plunk?
yes.
Oh. He just sort of nods at you. You can
Okay.
still hear chewing sounds.
That must be the Raccool Plague. Certainly seems worse than I thought.
What have we heard of the Raccool Plague up till this point?
It is some sort of mysterious viral plague that transforms the denizens that are affected by it into unthinking, murderous monsters.
Do zombies exist as a cultural phenomenon in Star Wars?
You have all seen zombies. Well,
Okay.
most of you have
that's
seen.
true.
Most of you have seen zombies.
That's true.
Yeah.
Force zombies are a thing. They're not necessarily widely culturally known, but anyone who's dealt with Sith probably knows a little bit about Force zombies.
Not
All right.
Sith so much as Night Sisters, but yeah.
No.
Force zombies are a very specific
but-
Night Sister thing.
But I don't think the Walking Dathomir is definitely like a widely spread holovid or anything.
No.
Right.
It's not a common terminology. You all have experience. Well, most of you have.
No. The Dathomirians are the ones who make Force zombies. They also just tend to pop up around like powerful dark side places.
Well,
But
I don't
yes.
think we're going to be able to. This is going to make travel difficult for you all.
Gonna make a lot. This is going to be.
Presumably, if the Republic has a recovery effort here, they have a secured base or landing zone.
Can we find an area that does not? I don't know if there's any like fluctuation in the feeling. Maybe like, what if we need to find where this feeling isn't?
Give me a sense
Essentially.
check, but as you do, the radio sort of clicks to life and there's a static, and you hear a little bit of conversation before it cuts silent, as Jin puts a hand to the side of his helmet, and you can tell he's talking to somebody, but you can't hear it. The helmet is silencing the audio.
I'm less concerned about where we land and what it's going to be like for us once we get down there.
Ronan sort of chimes in. I mean, yeah, it's uncomfortable, but I imagine once we get closer, it'll be less overwhelming. This is like seeing a light and sound show from a large distance. Everything's blending together, but when we get closer, we should be able to piece it out a little bit easier.
Got one dark, one light.
For your
One.
sense?
Yep.
You're sort of getting what you're Ronan is saying it weird, but you're getting what he's saying a little bit as you
Yep.
start to sense the information. The planet itself is active in the force.
Okay.
It's amplifying this feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's kind of like what you're feeling is effectively like static.
Yep.
Like broadcast
Okay.
static. So it's just a constant ambient wave of light and sound.
It's a targeted transmission outward, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once you get
That
close,
makes sense.
so and you sort of as you're sort of sensing it, Nereus, you're. This is the result of a planet being annihilated, basically. Like this is all of the deaths and all the destruction and this entire planet being effectively glassed, warping the denizens who survived being warped into these rat ghouls. resonated with the planet's force sensitivity and created this effective barrier of screaming.
Okay.
Once you get through the barrier, it'll be a little bit easier to sense and think. It's not something that any of the non-force users are having to deal with because they're not force users.
Right.
It's very much like a force-sensitive dome.
We're flying into a hurricane. Once we make it into the eye, things will be a little calmer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, as far as you can tell, like, you're not even certain if all of this is current. Like, this very well could be the remnant feeling of the, remnant feeling piling and piling and piling on itself, being caught
For
in a
centuries.
spiral for centuries.
Cool. In that case, as we get closer, I'm gonna just because I have the thing, might as well use it. I've got what's it called? I know my stuff. It's not here. Which page is it on? Calming aura. Right now it's only affecting me, but at least a little bit it's not a little bit of a buffer of like dampening down all of the noise.
We'll say that'll give you a boost in the roll I'm about to have you all make.
Okay.
So as you all feel this approaching gestalt of hunger, Jen, continuing to be unbothered by this whole thing, turns over her shoulder and looks. All right, we're gonna be landing in a Republic outpost, so best foot forward, everybody. As the ship comes in, breaking through that barrier, and as you all feel this wave of centuries-old hunger pass through you, I need all of you to make a discipline check, difficulty 3. Nerees, you get a boost die for your calming aura.
Okay.
Would this be considered a fear check?
No,
Okay.
What roll?
discipline, difficulty 3.
Oh, good. Oh no, actually, I'm not bad at that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Holy shit, I got a success.
2 successes. Nice.
Nice, Esty.
Success. Yep.
So none of you failed explicitly. You all take strain equal to the number of threat you rolled.
So so here's the question.
Mhm.
Does the resolve talent, when involuntarily suffering strain, suffer 1 less per rank of resolve, qualify for threat strain?
Yes.
Cool. So I take none.
Because you're involuntarily taking that. I'm making. Avasia,
Yep.
as this wave hits you, you clench your teeth, clench your fingers into claws, grind canines against themselves. And you sort of look over at Corserath, and you want to eat him. You realize that a moment later and sort of force yourself to unclench.
Okay.
And you don't know where that came from explicitly. But that was definitely a feeling you just had.
Okay.
Would noticing that be a vigilance or perception?
It would be a vigilance check, yeah.
Difficulty
Difficulty 2.
2 advantages.
Nope, didn't notice anything.
Okay.
Curious. Nope. Definitely.
Hell no.
Corserath's looking at the planet.
I'm not looking at Basia, so I won't make that roll.
You're all distracted. Yeah, no one seems to have noticed Avasia, but yeah, you definitely, that was a thing that entered your brain. But as you pass through that wave, you all sort of strain against that feeling, impressing itself upon you. On the other side, it is significantly less loud, as far as the feeling is less like the planet is screaming at you now, and more like it's just sort of there's a sort of an ambient hunger background. You all still have that slight feeling of that you could eat something, Nere's, which is especially weird for you at the moment. But other than that, that is you're past that barrier.
I'm gonna clamp down my force again at this point because there are Jedi somewhere out there.
In concealing yourself.
Yep.
Ronan's the first to speak up after the barrier is passed. Anyone else eat like a burger or something?
Yeah. Steak, fruit, pomegranate.
Yeah, I could definitely use something to eat. You don't have
You're
a
a
mouth.
droid,
Nope.
Nere's?
I do not.
Plunk walks over to Ronan and offers him a candy out of the robe as well.
Looks down, takes the candy, inspects it. It disappears underneath it.
Good man.
And then Ronan, again looking at Nere's, so you have no stomach, but you must eat.
I don't have to eat. I just feel like eating right now.
I think we all do.
Yep.
That's a weird feeling. Anyways,
Yep.
There are weirder feelings.
Telling me.
Again. Yep.
As much as it would be, as much as we may wish to enjoy a feast upon landing, I think it's probably best to focus on what we're here for.
And not eat people? Yes, that's probably a good idea.
whoa, eat
had
people?
no-
I just wanted to eat a burger, dude.
This has escalated.
What was that, SG?
I mean, maybe that's just me. I'm just saying.
Did you get an urge to eat people too?
Hang on.
Has anybody not?
Yes.
Hold up. Do we need to like distribute emergency rations?
No.
Hang on, wait, I'm stuck on the 2 part. Hang on.
I had a sudden urge to eat Coursera.
Is that a
Sorry.
sex thing?
No, not like that. It went away.
Good to know.
I'll be honest. I combined really, really hungry with the fact that there are down there, and I made an assumption.
I thought you felt it too. Okay.
I mean, not specifically like, oh, you know what would be good right now, but I'm also, you might notice, staying away from people at the moment.
I have yet
So-
to eat him. She will motion towards Coursera.
I'm not saying you're going to. I just thought I'd put that out there. So, when we get down and this particular rebel base's social customs involve hugging or something like that, we don't suddenly get surprised by particular urges.
And they're on this planet. They probably have a better idea of what's going on here.
They've also got Jedi on planet somewhere who are probably familiar with the sensation.
I wonder
This
if
is sounding more and more like a sex thing.
Not.
Ronan,
Is that Plunk saying that?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
No, he's this is in character.
Actually, no. Cillian chimes in. Actually, they probably don't because I didn't feel that, but like we're used to suppressing that kind of shit, so
That's
So
healthy.
y'all probably
Sith particulars.
yeah,
and-
y'all
and
probably
the
felt
independence.
that more. Yeah, y'all probably felt that more because you weren't trained to press.
That
the Jedi
seems.
might not even notice.
I agree with Esty. That seems unpleasant.
Okay.
I
why
didn't
don't
say
we-
Yeah.
unpleasant. I said that's healthy.
Why don't we put some of the people who are not feeling the effects of this and or do not have mouths in between the people who have mouths and might dive at each other?
Okay, I have a question.
Hey,
Does anybody not feel particularly hungry at this moment?
Jin and Cassilian raised their hand.
yep.
There you go.
So does
And-
Plunk.
You ate a random thing out of your pocket.
Okay.
Yes, and that's
You-
what he needed.
Plunk, you still feel hungry.
He doesn't. Did I stutter though? Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
I
no.
absolutely believe you. Right.
But how about queries of random cannibalism aside, we get down there and begin pursuing our mission. I'm already going to be wearing a goddamn helmet because he gestures to his face.
Yeah, so we're gonna be looking for a Jedi. Well, y'all are gonna be looking for a Jedi. I'm gonna be looking for a boat out of here so I can get to Coruscant to get some intel. And trying not to succumb to whatever it is you're feeling.
I mean, now that I think about it, cannibalism can have a sexual element to it.
Please stop.
Am I wrong though?
You're not, but please stop.
You get the sense that Ronan is both curious and not at the same time, and it's conflicting inside of him.
Those questions you're thinking to ask, do not ask them.
But there are so many.
I am quite familiar with the kinks that various Sith have enjoyed over time. Please stop.
Are we there yet?
Plunk
course
just
not.
chimes in. I had a cousin named Kink.
The ship just crashes into a mountain and you all die.
Also, let's not give ownership of that to the Sith.
Oh no!
I've lived in some fucked up places.
Oh, absolutely not. However, the Sith are the ones that just kind of, as a rule, will be the ones who don't question it.
I've known some people whose habits would make Sith blush.
As Gorsarath is putting the rest of his helmet on to cover his face.
Ship lands.
I have also known Hutts, yes.
Some of them were humans, thank you very much.
The ship lands. You're inside what is very clearly a makeshift starport that was repurposed from the remains of an old tower that fell. They seem to have cut away a lot of the debris to make it, and left what was still sturdy behind, and repurposed that into a starport. So there's bits of new construction melded in with the old. The area around it has been largely cleared of debris and plant life, so as to give a fairly large zone of control around the Republic base, so that anything that tries to rapidly approach to eat things will be spotted and shot before it gets too close. You can see a number of Republic watchtowers sort of lining the base, circling around outward from this starport as you approach. And then on landing, you're sort of enclosed. On the inside, much more well put together. They've definitely focused on making it workable before making it look good. As the doors close above you, you see a squad of individuals approaching the ship. You can tell that from the very fancy dress of one of them, shoulder included. This dark-skinned humanoid with sort of lightly curly brown hair is definitely some sort of Republic dignitary. Based on his outfit, most of you don't have too terribly much experience with the Republic as a governing body. The outfit just sort of screams important person before you get to his entourage of Republic troopers that are following. And this individual sort of stops a good 20 feet away from where the exit ramp would hit the ground. And Jin stands up, puts the helmet, make sure his helmet is secured, adjusts the voice modulator in it, reaches over, grabs his sniper rifle and slings it over his back, and motions to Ronan. To the rest of you, he talks, and as he talks again, his voice is now modulating to that same kind of voice you've heard when you first heard him, where it's this sort of shifting tone between a masculine and feminine tone, intentionally androgynous, with a sort of an automated reverberation to it that is very distinct from his own fairly deep voice. Wait on the ship until I make introductions. Once those introductions are made, I will make sure to indicate to this Republic diplomat that you are all my associates. You'll have free reign of the base once we've confirmed that. But until then, stay inside for a little bit.
Dope.
He and Ronan head over to the exit ramp, which lowers, and they walk out to meet this entourage.
Plunk sort of follows behind them until they get to the ramp. He just wants to get a look out the open door while still staying inside the ship.
Yeah, sure.
Of course, Wrath will stand basically over Plunk's shoulder, just making sure that also wanting to see what's going on, but also making sure the Jawa doesn't wander too far.
The Scooby-Doo lane, where it's like Plunk and then Wrath. And now I'm just waiting to see who comes in the middle.
Yeah, if any of the Republic troopers or the dignitary make eye contact with Plunk, he just waves his whole arm.
They don't, interestingly.
Okay.
So, you can't quite make out what's being discussed. It's being discussed in fairly quiet tones, and it is a bit of a distance away. But it doesn't seem to be particularly openly hostile. From body language, you can tell that, Jin is never really not on guard. But you can tell that he's not particularly expecting to be attacked. Ronan is as relaxed as ever, and the dignitary is also fairly relaxed. The troopers are on edge, but they're troopers. They're always going to be on edge.
It's their job to be on edge.
It's their job to be on edge because of the Empire.
Trying real hard not to react to that. Fail, but I
love the range
valiant
of
attempt
that I got. It was great. But the after a few moments of conversation, the dark-skinned individual waves to the guards, who sort of back off a few steps, and then gestures towards Jin, who nods, shrugs, and turns and walks back. As he turns and walks back, Ronan and the dignitary follow.
Can we tell the race of this dignitary as they're approaching?
Seem to be human.
Okay.
You're not certain exactly what sort of planetary orientation.
Mm-hmm.
But human. As they get up into the ship, and you're all now very much within close and visible range to this individual, you can tell that they're definitely like sort of a mid-30s human. Dark brown skin, brown eyes, brown hair, and sort of a well-kept but hanging array of curls. wearing blue and gold outfit with a shoulder cape that just hangs off of one arm. No visible weapons on them, though they do have a number of rings on their hands. The outfit itself is more suit than anything else. It almost looks like a Jedi's robes, but distinctly not, and more suit-esque than robe. Jin, to the rest of you, everyone, please make your introductions to the stationed general of this enclave on the stationed governor of this enclave on Terrace. This is Governor Garm Palian, also Councilmember Garm. Garm smiles, a very winning smile, a rose full of clean, straight, white teeth. It's a pleasure to meet everybody, and he just holds a hand out towards the closest one to him, almost instinctively.
Hey, that's me.
SD will step up, just planning on whether it was you or not, but also definitely because it's you.
And then gets blocked. Gets
Will,
blocked by SD.
He'll go down to take the Jawa's hand, and then intercepted by SD.
Charmed.
Pleasure. And to whom do I have the honor of making my acquaintance?
I'm SD. Plunk. Go through and introduce everybody.
Who literally just swore at you for being rude.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I mean, to be fair, I assumed.
Right.
I don't speak Jack version of Jawa, but I assumed based on context clues.
Yeah. I appreciate you guys being patient with me.
Yeah, go through, introduce everybody.
There's the spelling there in chat.
Not spell it at all like that.
Pelion. Like Peloton, but without the T.
And without the sudden and surprising collapse.
At least as of right now.
We'll fix that.
I don't know what's in his future. He might have a heart attack in 2 seconds.
Listen, he just met us. It'll happen soon.
You have the introductions. He smiles and nods, and very genuinely, goes around. Well, welcome to the once fair and soon to be fair again, planet Terrace. I'm here overseeing the Terrace Reconstruction Project on behalf of the Republic and my fellow council members. Any friend of any sort of gestures towards Jin, Codex, is a friend of ours. Which handily gives you all the name that he's using at the moment. Codex tells me that you are here searching for an enclave of Jedi that have taken up residence. While we naturally tend to leave our Republic defenders to their own business, I am curious about why exactly.
To be honest, we're seeking the medical expertise of one of their members.
Well, the vagueness of your answer tells me that it's a sensitive matter, and I won't pry further. I will say, however, though, that it'll take us some time to establish contact with them. They intentionally set themselves apart from the public base so as to not draw attention to themselves and their project. They won't want to receive visitors where they're at, so we're going to have to make some arrangements if you're interested in meeting with them. And you all of you make me a cool check. Difficulty 2.
Tell how truthful he's being.
I mean, if you want.
I would.
I got a
like to,
failure.
yes.
Okay.
I have a thing that helps with that.
Difficulty 2? Yeah.
Yep.
Hard for me not to
Success
seem
and
like
many
a jet
advantages.
Whenever I make this roll,
What was that, Jeremy?
that it's really hard for me not to sing like a jet whenever I make this roll.
Cool
Uh,
boy.
We usually
Real
do a
cool.
boost for Nobody's Fool. It upgrades the difficulty of an incoming check, but outgoing, do I get a boost die from that? Or
Yeah, we'll say get a boost die.
okay. Wash.
So Vasya, Neres, and Plunk, you're not really getting anything other than exactly what he's saying. Course Wrath and Esty, you're both sort of picking up the not very subtle, but definitely more subtle enough for at least 3 of your companions. Subtext, which is they are going to vet you.
Yep.
Like this is a vetting process here. This is a making sure that we are not giving Sith assassins the location of a bunch of Jedi.
To be fair, that's not entirely inaccurate.
I mean, they are. It's just former for the
Yeah.
most part.
So, what that tells you is that there may be things you can offer or tasks you could do to help ingratiate yourselves to them to make this process go faster, but you'll have to figure out those or offer your own services because he's very clearly not offering anything. Just saying, it'll take some time, so please enjoy your stay amongst our well-secured base.
I take particular note of the phrase "well secured" and his emphasis on it.
You get the sense that it's meant to be an indication of you are safe here, but there's definitely a not so subtle dagger in the sentence of we are safe from you here.
Plunk saying.
Oh, Plunk saying he needs some food. Thank you very much.
And to which she responds, absolutely. I'll be happy to show you to the cantina myself, and you can have your way with whatever you'd like on the food.
I look forward to our business here, Corsorath says, very neutrally.
Of course. Well, now that introductions are done and you've all met me, please allow me to be your tour guide, and I will take you around the lovely facilities that we have here at the base. He gestures, walks back off the ship, giving you time to mull amongst yourselves before you follow after.
I turn to Jin, and I just say, "How effective is that vetting going to be?"
Republic intelligence, so not the worst.
Are they going to find out that we're actually not here to help them, not here to hurt them, or are they going to find out enough to make them assume that we're assassins?
They're going to find out enough that they're going to have to make a decision on their own.
Wait.
Cool. So we should be making ourselves friends.
On it.
That's what I'm
Plunk is
doing.
just watching Garm walk away, and as he goes, he's like, have your way with... What is it about this planet that makes everybody talk like it's a sex thing all the time?
It might just be your perception, Plunk.
I'm gonna say.
Yeah, problem's
Also-
probably you.
But also, this might turn out to be a sex thing. Excuse me.
Breaks out
Ozzy-
another piece of candy and just mainlines it.
Vazia will go with Plunk to get food.
Well, presumably you're all going because he's escorting you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm
well,
going.
Never mind
I'm,
then.
Yeah, we are following.
Or Hawk.
So yeah,
I am
so
walking right up and taking his fucking arm.
He will let you take his arm. Make me a
Charm.
charm roll.
Okay.
He's gonna make.
You get a Zeltron bonus for this?
Yes, I do. I get a bonus die for it.
Hell yeah.
Mm. 'Nice. 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 'Nice
2 successes, 3 advantage. Because you learn he has a discipline of like 17.
I just won a 17.
It's only 14.
Oh, well, what am I worried about?
He's actually not much better at his resistance than you. He just has certain talents that give him bonuses.
I mean, that's fair.
He's got 2 ranks in his discipline. But
And to be clear, outside that, she's not being flirty. She is just being friendly. She knows the difference on how to make nice with people like this versus people on Nar Shaddaa, for example.
yeah, and you definitely get the sense that he's being receptive, but you also get the sense that he is a well-trained diplomat.
Oh, of course.
You like as soon as you start sort of feeling him out and sort of getting a sense for where he is on your scale of difficulty. And I'll say that with your success, with your advantages, you get the sense that he's got you can tell he's got 2 ranks in discipline, but and a 4 willpower. But the big thing that he has is that he gets automatic boosts and advantages on coercion and on coercion and charm effects. So like whenever anybody tries to coerce or charm him, he automatically gets better at defensive rolls. Because and you can tell narratively, you can tell it's because of his training. He's been very, very thoroughly trained. You kind of recognize a little bit. There is a branch of Zeltron that of Zeltrons that work with the Republic specifically for training their diplomats. They are, and you can tell this person was trained by Zeltrons.
Yep, that is disappointing, but fine. And no, this is playing the game. He knows the game.
Yeah,
he knows it's the game. I know it's the game, so it's fine. This is actually refreshing,
and he is fully on board with playing it as well.
Right.
So you the 2 of you are having just a lovely conversation about nothing.
Yep.
As you walk, you're talking about every little thing that to everybody else would sound like a very complicated conversation about political dynamics and intergalactic relations and the state of the Cold War and everything like that. But to the 2 of you, you are both just bantying back known information back and forth in an effort to sort of feel out where each other's knowledge base ends. And neither one of you is really capable of figuring out exactly where the other's knowledge base ends based on your reactions and back and forth. But you definitely get that sense of training and that sense of he's not going to be easy to manipulate directly.
Legit.
The rest of you follow.
It's high class gossiping.
Very much so, yes.
Yep.
It's important gossip. In that the gossip is important, not that they are gossiping is important. But he takes you all on a tour. You are all aware of the fact that his entourage is never too far behind. But they don't seem to be encroaching on you as a group. He shows you to the cafeteria, which is in the starport. He shows you to a few of the shops that are in the starport. It's very sort of like airport lounge style setup here. Once you get outside of the hangar bays, there's a very large lounge where there are people of all different, means and disciplines sitting around, bantying conversation back and forth, having meals, checking in on the status of things. You can tell that there are a lot of 3 kinds of people here. Outside of the soldiers that are standing guard, there are a lot of engineers, there are a lot of scientists, and there are a lot of what look like civilians. There seems to be a very, like, outside of who the people who are distinctly like, we build things and we study things and we shoot things, there are a lot of, we don't seem to have a purpose, we're just here sightseeing or waiting on something. So there's a lot of civilians around, which seems odd for a planet like this. You notice that there's a lot of, like, you see that there's some amount of administrative process already happening. There are, you pass at least one line full of people that are waiting to talk to somebody behind a counter with paperwork in their hands, and most of them are civilians. It takes you on a brief tour outside of the main starport, where there are much less sparsely populated structures. They haven't gotten to the point of finishing out the rest of the base yet. The starport was their first priority. So there's a lot of temporary shelter, temporary housing. Most of it's military grade, where it's just, we grabbed some debris, we slapped it into a shape and put a door on it. There's a lot of that outside, along with just plain old military ground, barracks, armory, shield generator that is currently active. So you can see the faint silvery blue outline of a shield over the base, that presumably was opened for you to come through on the ship. There are several watchtowers that are currently manned with people, not automation. You see there aren't a lot of droids, militarily speaking. There are some construction droids and there are some science probes, but there's not a lot of military droids, which is another thing that catches your eye. Because military droids are part and parcel for the Republic. They use a lot of them, and it's very odd whenever there's a base that is less populated by military droids. And now that you're outside on this section of the tour, in addition to the armory, you can see that there is a local hangar that seems to have some of the more planetary vehicles in it, garage/hangar, and there are a lot of mercenaries. There weren't as many inside the starport, but once you leave the starport on your short tour, you see that you are seeing people of all different various colors and varieties that are not very distinctly not Republic troopers, but wearing heavily armored gear and carrying weapons and things like that. No Force users, as far as you can tell. Seems to mostly be ground troopers kind of thing, but a lot of mercenaries, a lot of soldiers, not a lot of droids. And then eventually you're taken back inside. You're led back to the cafeteria. Governor Garm sort of detaches himself from Esty at that point. If there's anything you need or any questions you have while we work on contacting our Jedi associates, please feel free to send me a missive. My extranet address is open and available, so feel free to send us something and we'll get back to you as soon as we can.
We'll keep that in mind.
Of course. And again, if you have any other questions or if you have any more immediate concerns, any of our guards are happy to assist our transient population. And he smiles, waves a hand elegantly, turns and begins to walk off. Assuming none of you stop him, he leaves.
Mm-hmm. All right, those of us who are hungry can go ahead and get a meal, and then we can figure out what we're doing while we're here.
Well, we need to make friends.
Indeed.
And I cannot eat anyway, so excuse me.
Nerys, don't go too far.
It is within the starbase. I will be
I
within
wasn't
the
talking
starbase.
distance.
I do not intend to leave. I have felt what is out there.
Yeah, that's not a good idea.
But I don't wish to sit here and watch you all eat.
Fair enough. Just remember your limits at times.
And I walk off. At that point.
Caecilian sitting off to one side with a power bar, with a protein bar, just munching on it.
Does this cantina look like it? You have to pay for stuff, or
No.
because he's
No. It
oh
doesn't.
okay,
And you
Cool,
would have been
then-
told that food's on the house.
right. Then yeah, Plunk will just go, and anything that's too high to reach will just get force moved down and come back with a pile of stuff that he's probably, just some of it he's actually carrying in his hands, and the rest of it's sort of just doing little orbits.
There's definitely sort of a comedy of errors scene there where people are reaching for food and Plunk's just yoinking it out of there, and they don't
Nope,
see
that
the
one's fine.
Jawa or expect it. So there's like one trying to figure out why this food is flying away.
Entirely a pile that is as big as you, I'm imagining.
Probably.
It's so that nobody can see the spider mandibles when he starts to eat.
Right.
Mm.
Oh no, you just kind of drop the head down and shove it up underneath, and then you're good. Yeah.
I like to think you like get
Straws.
it's a pile so high you sort of get it to the top of it, put your head over it,
Yeah,
drop
and just kind of
down.
vacuum my way down. Yep.
Completely out of context, all of that is definitely a sex thing.
Yep. Tell you, man, it's something about Terrace.
Those
He
are the-
goes through it pretty quickly, but definitely more quickly than one would expect. And if you watch him eat, he's definitely cramming some of it in pockets and just secreting it about his person.
You all get food. Neres, where are you on?
In this tour, did we get shown like a medical facility, clinic, hospital, anything like that, or not?
Yeah, there are medical facilities, and there are several medical facilities. Some that were highlighted, some that weren't.
Okay.
There were definitely some sort of research and medical facilities outside in different buildings, and then there was more the general clinic, medical clinic, on the inside of the starport.
Okay, I would like to go back to whichever one looked like busiest, or like it had like longest lines or something. I want to offer my services.
Okay, so you go to the clinic inside the starport, which is not particularly busy, but it's definitely more busy than the others would be as far as your conception of busy.
Mhm.
You walk up to the medical droid that is staffing the location, who turns and looks at you and goes, "What is your emergency?"
I do not have an emergency. I am a physician. Do you need assistance? I am
We have no
staying
need
here.
of physicians. What
Right.
is your emergency?
I do not have an emergency. Goodbye.
Goodbye. He turns back, circles back around.
Are there any other people working at this thing, or is it just the droid at the front desk?
Make a cool check.
Okay.
Difficulty 2.
All right. That's too many.
Let me clear the dice pool.
I got one. Oh,
Hang on.
sorry. It should not have the boost.
You shouldn't have a lot of that because the dice pool modifies your roll too. So I need to.
Gotcha. Are we good? Okay. And nope.
You definitely see that there are a couple of medical droids, and there's definitely this clinic seems to be mostly automated. So you're not seeing any like humans in it, and as busy as it is going by fairly quickly. But you do not like again. That is something that you notice is that this is mostly run by medical droids.
Okay. Were we given a place to stay? Or not?
Not yet, no. You have a
Okay.
ship, presumably.
All right. Then Nerys is just wandering around. Because yeah, he doesn't want to sit and watch other people eat when he can't, and it's bothering him. And
Yeah.
so they need to move around.
Right.
Yeah. I'm just doing
Go ahead
that.
and make me a discipline check for me. Difficulty 2.
Okay. Two successes.
As you walk past, as you're sort of wandering, you feel that occasionally that hunger, that wave of hunger, sort of hits you a little bit harder, like something is prodding it. But you manage to put it out of your mind. Keeping grasp of the fact that you don't have teeth, or a mouth, or a stomach. You manage to ignore the random spikes of hunger. But while Nereus can ignore the random spikes of hunger, we can't. So that's where we're going to take our break real quick. Those of you that are watching live, be sure to let the commercials run. But also, when we take our break, you take your break. So stand up, stretch your legs, grab some food, do whatever you need to do. I'm going to go water my eye. And we'll be back in just a few minutes. We're back, and I've got an eye patch because I keep fucking with my eye and it hurts. And well, I say eye patch, but it's really just a thing. Actually, technically, it is an eye patch. It's an eye cover for when you sleep if you want to have your eyes covered. It's just cocked up to one side so I can see out my one eye. It isn't fucked up.
Also, William, Kinten is the homeworld of the Nikto.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Mhm.
Well, there you go. A question answered that no one knew was being asked outside of this group of people.
That's what we're here.
That's why all the Nikto gangs reference Kintan. Good to know.
It'd be like if, a bunch of human gangs were, the Earth Raiders or the Earth Fangs or...
I mean, in
Earth
Star Wars,
Dragons.
in Star Wars, it'd be like the Coruscanti, etc.
Coruscant is not the homeworld of humans.
I mean, according to most wiki pages on Star Wars, it is.
Bunch of
Either
human
that or Corellia.
supremacists. Let's keep
Yeah.
going.
They didn't build it. Anyways. So. Nere's has felt an increased spike of hunger. Meanwhile, the rest of you. You're at
Has
your
my
table.
buffet smorgasbord done anything to abate my sense of hunger?
No.
Interesting. Cool. He does know when to stop.
The rest of you are also discovering that it doesn't seem to matter how much you eat, that hunger doesn't go away.
Yeah, Corserath just has enough meal to make sure he's satiated and then sits down, and we should probably figure out exactly how we're going to be of assistance around here to try and make friends and get this over with quickly.
We should probably ask around and see what is needed.
Tando. We could help fix things, or I could just move heavy stuff.
You can certainly do both of those things, Plunk. The rest of us, however, have different skill sets.
Gets up, brushes his robes off, and just heads out the door. He's looking for engineers.
Remember to ask first.
There's a bit of a wave.
Plunk wanders off.
Yep.
Now there are three.
So the third character I'm going to play is...
Plunk is never seen again.
After he's gone, is anybody else
Four.
concerned about the
that
the
would be four.
possibility that wave was just a goodbye and not an acknowledgement of what was just said?
It's a mild concern, but I think he'll
Okay.
be fine.
Probably. I just wanted to make sure it was voiced.
Meanwhile, the three of us that remain seem to be the ones who... I was going to say are personable, but that's not always true.
I'm very personable.
Vasia chuckles.
I wasn't talking about you, SD.
Okay, that's fair.
Shall we see if we can ask around and see who needs assistance?
Yes. Also, sorry about the whole urge to eat you earlier.
It's fine.
I had no control over it.
No one here does.
Right.
do
Let's
they?
go.
You notice that
Somebody here should.
Codex and Ronan seem to have ducked off somewhere.
I figured.
So everyone, other than actually Nere's included, everyone give me. Hang on, let me find my list of skills.
Please say charm.
Or streetwise.
I'd prefer
like
charm,
that. I like
personally.
the
I know
comment.
you.
I like the comment in chat. The only way Vasia becomes a people person if she starts eating.
That's very true.
Also, for those while I'm getting this information, for those of you that were here on the break, I did try to do a poll. Nobody voted in it, so it didn't go anywhere. It was a prediction poll. The prediction was, will Nere's get in trouble? And since nobody voted on it,
Wow.
I got to pick the answer, and the answer was
Wow.
I
Which is
mean-
obviously yes.
Listen, I'm not saying I'm complaining, but Nerys is a character that Mara plays, so the answer is yes.
There, I've played at least one character that is not. Well, that's not true. Never mind.
Thank you. I was going to say.
I had a fate thing happen, so I can't even do Alex. Dang it.
I'm not
I
saying
like
it's
how-
always you don't always seek it out, but if you
It
don't,
just happens.
it finds you.
Yeah.
I like how Mara can't think of a single character who has not been a disaster magnet.
I mean, like one-shot characters, but that does not count for this.
Like, yeah.
Well, one-shot
One-shot
characters are
characters
inherently
aren't the same.
disaster magnets because they're one-shot characters.
Like I said, I'm not complaining. Like that would very much be the pot calling the kettle black, but
It's also hilarious.
yes. You can all give me streetwise checks, difficulty 2.
okay.
See what you can find just socializing around.
Oh boy, the API may have busted over the break.
The API
yep.
appears to have busted over the break.
All right.
Brad.
Refresh.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, wait for John and then refresh.
Right.
First, I have to turn it back on because we can't have nice things. They break.
Because of humans. Humans are the reason we can't have nice things.
It's true. Humans are the reason we can't have nice things. Humans and very angry cats that like to pee on things.
They're the same picture.
Made me look over my shoulder to make sure the cat that has been running in here just to lay on my bed for no reason is not still here.
Which one?
Lily.
Okay, right. Fox won't be around people.
There's a very good reason. A reason is to pee on your things.
Lily doesn't pee on people's stuff.
Your sheriff's
Fox
currently disabled
sometimes
due to an
does.
error that was detected. Please make the appropriate changes to your sheriff's code and the save script.
Oh boy,
Disable
it's real
script.
broken.
Restart API sandbox. Enable script. Okay, try now.
Refresh.
And you said difficulty 2 on the streetwise?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a role I'm actually good at,
Set off.
which means I will probably roll a wash.
What did you say, William?
I said Korsarath, his actual
Oh, okay.
name.
I thought you said potion seller. No, it's like,
Potion Seller.
this is only going to go one direction now.
Rocks fall, you
Yes.
all die.
I will take
There we
that.
go.
Ooh.
I require only your strongest vaccines.
There you go. Yeah. Hey, 2 successes for Plunk. Look at him go. And a
You-
threat.
You can't
But, you know.
handle my vaccine.
My vaccines could kill a dragon.
Crying out loud.
Sorry, Jeremy. We're the worst.
You can't handle normal vaccines like an adult. What makes you think you can handle mine? If you could,
going
you wouldn't
into-
be in this
Going
episode.
into
No,
Taris, I require only your strongest vaccines.
You would become a rock ghoul on my vaccines. And
Actually makes it a
your
very
vaccines
bad
don't work,
vaccine.
isn't it? Yeah.
Sounds like your vaccines suck.
Sounds like you need to go into a new line of work, vaccine seller. All right, let me get back in the game. All right.
I mean, I would say that would work. It just, has surprising side effects.
For a
So,
given value
someone want
of
to tell me
working.
why 3 of you rolled basically the same thing?
Eh.
Because we all have the same. Because we all have the same cunning, or the same. Yeah, same cunning.
Nereus doesn't have the same cunning.
Yeah, Neri's also rolled one less green die.
I think John means results wise.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I
That's
think
what I
you need to
mean.
blame the dice here, not
Yeah, I was gonna say.
us.
I like to think that somebody
Two success,
said,
one threat.
"How
Two
do we know
success,
that's
one
not a
threat. Two
goodbye?"
success,
And
three threat.
Avazia decided, "All right, I'll go follow him."
I would like to
What
point
is
out
Avazia following?
Since Plunk and Avazia both got the exact same result, she ended up just being like, "All right, yeah, let's make sure he doesn't wander off by himself."
I'll eat him.
I'll
Sorry,
say, yeah,
Karen.
There you go.
if I have to eat somebody,
Start small
Yeah, he's
and absorb their power. There you
He's
go.
like a little Star Wars Lunchable.
and in fairness,
Jawa nuggets.
I was closer to Plunk and Avancia than Nerys was.
It's true.
That was 2 successes and no threat. I was 1 threat away.
Yeah. Again, all of you except Corserath rolled the same thing, basically.
Yep.
But again, the majority of the people here were rolling with 3 cunning and 2 difficulty. So I mean,
That has never
rolling
been a
on
thing.
average.
Anyways. So, you all take a look around, trying to find something to do that will ingratiate you to the local populace. I need all of you, except for Nereus, because Nereus has already done it, to make me a discipline check, difficulty 2.
Discipline.
Even better.
Success.
Scorpion.
1 success.
Here we go again.
Here
haven't
we
eaten each
go
other yet.
again on my own.
On our own to keep the signifiers the same.
Down the only road we've ever known. So everyone that rolled a threat takes a strain. As you all get that, as the rest of you now get that.
So I take none.
Get that second wave of hunger that just sort of
By getting that
spikes.
advantage, can I remove a threat or a strain?
Yeah, if you want.
Okay.
This
I
is
feel like more threats will be coming, so more strain will be coming.
Would you like to
this-
do
this-
anything with that triumph?
find work.
Get vetted.
Well, this is
Yeah.
this is very specifically relating to the hunger.
Oh. Okay, this might be a little bit outside the box,
You're a Zeltron. You can do things.
but considering Esme Zeltron empathy, is there some insight that she might get that gives her an idea of how to stave it off better for us?
Yes. Not necessarily stave it off better, but you get a sense of what it is. You get a sense of where it's coming from,
Okay.
which might give you ideas.
Specifically, just the diplomat, right?
Yeah, it's exact. It's him by himself. No, so as you're sort of like hit by this secondary wave of hunger, you get a sense of nostalgia that comes with it, which is odd. Because who is nostalgic while they're being hunger like this overwhelmed with hunger?
Right.
As you sort of dig deeper into that thought, that feeling, that that ancient feeling that you're getting, get a sense that while yes, certainly some amount of this is leftover, like sort of just passive leftover emotion from thousands and thousands of years, from hundreds of years ago, there's something contemporary about it, particularly about the nostalgia.
Okay.
Something is actively today feeding this rampant whirlpool of emotion.
Okay.
That's what you get with the triumph.
Like Like purposely so?
No idea if it's purposely,
idea,
but it's not
but it's-
just remnant.
Okay.
It's not just centuries old nonsense. It is also current day nonsense.
Right.
Something, but it's current day, but it's still the same like origin point. Something from 300 years ago is still today feeding into them.
Okay. So yeah, she will pause just briefly, look around and frown, and then start walking again.
So, with the streetwise, all right, who are we gonna start? Let's starting with Esty. So Esty, with your particular set of skills, as you're sort of maneuvering around and looking for work to do, or something that you could do to potentially, when they decide when they get done vetting you, are inclined to favor. What particular branch of thing are you? What sort of skill would you like to apply?
I feel like with her, it's going to be because anything that requires most of her more charm related skills would require her to open up, which is probably not a good idea right now because moi. So anything that might require some hunting, searching, underworldy stuff. Anyone you need killed? That kind of thing. Not asked that way, but
So
Anybody been giving you trouble that might need to be taken care of in a possibly aggressive manner? Because that could mean just, confronting somebody.
right.
So you learn through your investigation that the reason there are a lot of civilians here is because there are a lot of people that have ancestral claim to bits of terrace. Like my family owned an apartment complex or whatever. And due to various levels of economic strain throughout the Republic because of an ongoing civil war that's been going on for years, lots of people are sort of taking this as a sign or an opportunity to move to Terrace, the Terrace Restoration Project, as a sign to move to Terrace in a hope for a better future, a better life, claiming some of their ancestral home and, building a life here on something that's rightfully theirs that was taken away from them, taken away from them and their families. And a lot of them that's why there's a lot of civilians here. What you've discovered is that several of them don't know where their homes would have been geographically. It seems like basically what the Terrace Restoration Project is doing is saying, hey, yeah, you probably had like a 50,000 story skyscraper, so anything that was above ground, we're not really going to be able to guarantee that you're going to be able to get back. But if you can prove that you had a particular section of land, or a particular, like if you had a particular like real estate value or property, we can locate that. We can locate that relative location on the planet and secure that for you if you have provided you have the correct paperwork. Well, what this has resulted in is that there's a lot of people that have the paperwork but aren't able to actually locate the plot, because things have fallen over and shifted over the past 300 years. So there are one of the reasons why there's a whole bunch of mercenaries here is that there are several people that are coming in several civilians are coming in and hiring mercenaries to sort of help them find and clear out sections of land where their ancestral home is. They can't move to them yet, obviously, because the terrace restoration project is still undergoing, and they don't want to be eaten by rackhools. But
Right.
they are sort of like preemptively claiming things and sending droids out to construct basic foundations and things like that. So you definitely so there's a wide variety of people that you could talk to that would hire you for that kind of mercenary work. Corserath, what are you looking to do with your skills?
I mean, similarly, unless there's anything that needs to be attacked with a lightsaber, um, his best skills are in present skills, honestly, to be like charm, cool, and leadership. So, anything that requires honestly, if there are arguments going on that he might need to intervene in, or anyone who needs a stable communicator, or just the kind of social work that someone can perform as an intermediary or anything, basically just seeing it as anyone who needs help.
Okay. Go ahead and just give me a leadership roll, difficulty 2.
Sure. Reasons. Success, 2 advantages.
Okay. So you make some headway in just sort of like offering your services as a mediator. You don't get a lot because a lot of the issues that people need solved require more direct intervention rather than sort of a communicative mediator. But you do manage to get a little bit of help a few people with that particular skill set. Neres, what you looking for now?
Well, the medical thing didn't work. So I think, yeah, that's the one thing Neres is very good at. I think they're
I was trying to very quietly open my medicine, and I think I killed a brain cell or two.
Sorry, I didn't hear it. It's okay. I think Neres is probably mostly just watching at the point. It's been a while. I mean, I was on a ship for a while. This is feeling sort of similar. They're gonna look for anything that needs like repairing. I have some mechanical skills and I have the tool set. And yeah.
Okay. So you're looking for some repairing.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a mechanics check, difficulty 2.
Okay. Two successes. That's right.
Yeah, you loan your skills, and your knowledge of mechanics around, and do manage to find a few projects that could use an extra couple of hands, and particularly a fairly sturdy droid. You do learn that while you're in the process, just through gossip, you do learn that the reason why there's not a whole lot of military droids is because the environment is very unfriendly for droids outside. There are a lot of like uneven ground that's very difficult to travel if you don't have flexible bones and flesh. And also there are a lot of predators that like to maul moving machines. It seems that in the past 3 years, not all the technology on Terrace was inert, and so an amount of the more violent wildlife got very used to destroying machines that were dangerous, and so droids tend to be very quickly picked off by apex predators. Which is a large reason why outside of the starport, there aren't a lot of droids active.
Okay.
Doing that. Plunk. I know you had said
Lift
you were
heavy
looking for
thing.
engineers, but okay. Anything more specific than that?
He's also specifically going to be looking to see if there's a location where, because if he can't help, he wants to at least learn. So he's going to be looking for mechanics, engineers, people like that. Because increasing his knowledge base and training, and just because of who he is and how he was raised, he's always interested in junk and pulling things apart and putting them back together. So
okay, give me a coordination check.
Okay. Alrighty. Oh, let me check. Yes, I can use enhance on all my coordination checks. 3 successes.
Okay. Do you want to flip a destiny point?
We only have one.
Take 5 strain. Get 5 more successes.
Nah, I think 3 successes is good enough for him right now. If we had more light side points, I absolutely would, but
Got 1.
I want to save that one in case we need it later.
Okay. So yeah, you're able to help out. The people here are, kind of interested in a force using Jawa. It's definitely a oddity here. You do learn that there are, while you're chatting with people and talking, you learn that sort of like the Jedi that are around never really help out with engineering projects. They all seem to be really busy trying to work on some sort of secret project. You learn that there's a lot of speculation about what the nature of the secret project is, but not a lot of firsthand knowledge of what it is. The Jedi seem to be keeping things very much to themselves. And you learn that there are rumors and reports that it has to do, that whatever project they're doing has to do with some sort of force-sensitive life forms on the planet.
Interesting. Cool.
Finally, Avasia. What you doing with yours?
What?
What you doing with yours?
Also looking for if anyone needs muscle or someone killed or tortured. Just good at that. She is.
Mercenary work.
So yeah, similar than in that case to what Esty found. You learned about the civilians, that are the primary source of mercenary work in the area. A bunch of civilians that are looking to reclaim their homeland, reclaim their houses and property, hiring mercenaries in order to help them clear it out. Seems like it's a thing where you can do to make money, and you can also earn some amount of reputation doing it. But
okay,
presumably it's something you're going to go off and do on your own. So.
Mm-hmm.
So after several hours of, investigating, some of you actually working, moving around, listening to people, talking to people, finding gossip, you all reconvene where?
Presumably back at the cantina as the easiest central gathering location.
I would say at the ship if possible.
Yeah, I was going to say ship.
One or the other.
Plunk's just going to sort of wander back towards wherever it was that he last saw anybody-ish and just see what's around and assume they'll stumble across him when they need him.
Legit. Yeah.
So-
Once we get together wherever, Estee will be like, let's go back to the ship and talk.
I'll say, so yeah, so at least 3 of them wander back to the cafe, and then the other 2 go, hey, let's go to the ship.
Yep.
So then we go to the ship.
Yeah.
Okay. So
We
you
get
all
on.
meet back and reconvene at the ship.
Not that we're trying to keep any big secrets or anything. At least not any that we're necessarily under threat of having exposed, but here we don't have to worry about anybody else listening in. We have to worry less about it. Anyway,
I have a question.
shoot.
What are Twilight Nights?
Why do you ask?
Because I've heard you people talk about them before, and it sounds like all of you know what they are.
That's what we used to be.
They-
Technically
Alright.
technically speaking, the 3 of us here, along with Cassilian, are the only known remaining members of the Twilight Knights, which was an order of Force users devoted to maintaining balance within the Force.
Didn't somebody say, I mean, I don't know if I was privy to that conversation because I don't know who the conversation was between.
Oh,
Something
right.
about-
And also the one Archon whose name I cannot remember, who we
Yeah.
are pretty certain is still alive.
Hadafeni.
And along with Archon Hatafeni, who is very likely still around, but we have not been able to confirm their location.
Apparently, Archon Zilda.
Potentially Archon Zilda. Although Archon Zilda would very much rush headlong into a deadly situation and potentially get killed.
And you're
So very few people, in other
yeah.
words.
Cassilian was pretty certain that Roland Pantier is still on Alderaan.
Mm-hmm.
Still few people, still very few people.
There are us and potentially a handful of others left alive.
Led by our mentor, and then we were attacked by North Foxati, which was where we were captured and then met Este.
More or less, yeah.
And then,
Okay.
Okay.
Is there any reason that came up at this particular moment as opposed to the rest of the moments?
Yes.
And I take
I'm just
it you
gonna
don't
wait
feel like
until you
I
provide
take
clarification.
do you feel like clarifying that reason?
I just now remembered I forgot to ask you when I first heard about it.
There.
All right. Fair enough, I guess.
Sorry, I needed to catch Plunk up on a couple things.
Of things to get caught up on. I found out a little bit of the local gossip. The wildlife out there isn't just hungry for, all you fleshy people, but also likes to destroy machinery. So I do not want to go out there.
I feel like eventually we're going to have to at some point.
We are.
If we find a ship, I can fly us there.
Yeah. Eh?
There's the potential for some mercenary work out there.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Also, I have a really good notion that this whole thing that we're feeling isn't just echoes of the past.
You think the ongoing Raccool population might be contributing to it?
I think there's something from whatever happened then that's still going on now.
Mm.
And
That
I
would
don't
have to-
know, call me incredibly crazy because it's a really dumb idea. But it might ingratiate us pretty
Oh
fucking well.
God.
You want to go out and find the ancient centuries old source of chaos and hunger and then destroy it.
Yes.
Yappa.
That the Jedi here probably are aware of and have attempted to.
Well, we've
fix,
already
and
established that the Jedi might not be aware of it because of their regimented and repressed nature of training.
Also, no, all due respect to the Jedi, as I'm about to say something very disrespectful. But a lot of times they will see the stuff that's actively, openly harmful to people that doesn't affect them. And they'll be like, man, natural order. I'm just going to leave it alone and let it hurt anybody else because I'm not affected. Tell me I'm wrong.
I get where they're coming from, though, is the problem. It
So
is
do I.
only affecting us. It is not apparently affecting the station that much.
Unless it's
Everyone-
creating rat ghouls, unless it's allowing the causing the animals to attack machines.
Yes,
Apparently,
I would probably wager very highly that whatever this energy is causing a lot of the aggressive wildlife to be aggressive,
yeah.
and is likely continuing the prevalence of the Raccool Plague if it has anything to do with it at all, which it sounds like it might.
We might want to take care of it.
At least
I-
at least look into it and see. Yes, if it's like something that we clearly can't handle, then okay, fine. But we should try to figure out what's going on.
we just got out of a situation where we just went in to take a look and see what was there, and then things went haywire and very bad, and Afasia is still heavily injured. I do not want to go out there
Fine.
and have to patch you all up when something tears you limb from limb and tries to eat you.
In fairness,
Yes, I definitely agree. We don't just wander out there. Maybe we should get some stuff together and
Speaking of
prepare and, figure out what the hazards are.
Speaking
Right.
of getting things together, has anyone here asked if, because we're very likely going to end up going out there, if any of these scientists have devised a serum to prevent Raccool infection?
no,
We should probably ask about that.
that's a worthy
would be
that's a worthy
wise.
point. I should point out that the thing that got us all fucked up wasn't just going in to look around. It was trying to find a way through the blockade. It was a matter of survival.
Avasia's injuries have been building up for quite a while.
Oh my gosh.
There was a
Look.
blockade?
That's between y'all.
Yes.
I'm not getting into that. I'm just saying,
I get hurt. I'm fine.
no, you're not.
I'm still standing.
That doesn't mean you're
That's
fine.
what led to your back being broken, was continuing to say you were fine when you were not.
No, that's not what led to my back being broken.
That's also fair.
What led to your back being broken was standing up to the Emperor's
Yes.
wrath.
Yeah.
Well, you
Yeah.
had 5 critical wounds.
No, but still, something bad would have happened. Like,
Yes,
either
but not
way.
the instant death result.
We don't know that it was instant death. We just
I
know
mean-
that the back got broken.
To be fair, he added an extra 50 on top of that roll. So.
This is true.
It was
I'm
already
just
getting an
saying.
extra 50 on top of that.
I know. That just made it the 100.
Are there any vehicles we'll be able to use, do you think?
There's a hangar we saw.
I
We
don't
have to
think.
ask for permission, but
I feel like land speeders would be more prevalent here. I don't know that there's going to be an easy
Ooh.
landing zone for a starship outside of this place.
the hangar
One
you saw
kind of cracks
outside
his
was,
knuckle.
and it was planetary vehicles, not starships. Fighters and things like that. But you did
Mhm.
notice that there didn't seem to be a lot of use of them at the moment.
So the question, well, We should probably be good guests and ask before we take one out.
What's the general climate here?
Humid jungle, but replace all the trees with concrete's overgrown with trees.
Okay.
Concrete jungle where dreams are stolen.
It's concrete
Can-
jungle where trees are growing.
We at least take one more day here so that Avasia, there are several medical facilities. I can point them all out to you.
Fine.
There's one on the
This
ship.
is-
It's a Bacta tank.
Right there.
I mean, also, I feel like Nerys should probably take the crack at those last three now that Avazi is within range of being able to heal all of them at once.
Yes.
Fine. I will get healed all the way.
Why would you even want to go into combat without being fully healed?
First of all, you've known me for years.
I have. I still don't understand why you would not be fully healed to make your odds better.
Because healing takes too long.
As an outsider, I'm gonna guess that it's a word that starts with P and ends with ride.
At that point,
Ozzy
Ronan-
just
at-
gives
at-
you a blank stare.
at
Plunk
that
looks
point-
over and goes, Patricide?
At that point, Ronan chimes in from the door as he and Jin walk back in. Wow, way to walk into a conversation about somebody's water sports kink. Anyways,
What?
This
Oh my
fucking
God.
planet. And Plunk just walks into an air vent.
ha! It's an imposter.
Ah.
I now expect your Among Us username to be changed to Plunk Kekek, Jack.
You're welcome.
Killed me, John.
Look, you don't talk about a pee ride without somebody commenting on it.
We know.
No. We do, unless you're in earshot. That
I
said,
have a condition.
well done. I'm not saying that I don't understand. I do the same. Just saying.
And it's going to get both of you killed.
I'm adapting.
Death?
Yes, I am adapting the nature of death itself.
That's not a good idea. All right.
Many
can-
Sith have tried and failed.
Also, we're talking about a lot of fighting here, and some of us are not really trained in that.
We need to get you like armor or something.
Or a lightsaber or something.
He's got a lightsaber.
Has he actually shown that off yet?
Nope.
No. I showed him how to where to make one. The stuff was gone when I like peeked back in there, so I'm assuming.
Okay, but let's make sure you didn't toss it out the airlock, did you?
There was a weak way bounty hunter I knew once who was very heavily armored for someone of his stature. We could probably find something like that for Plunk.
I mean, Weequays are taller than Jawas.
Not by a long shot, not by a lot, actually.
What are we arming Plunk with?
Armoring.
Oh, okay. You're
Sorry, not weak way. Ugnaught. That was the word I was looking for. Yeah, Ugnaught.
So no, Weequays are a lot taller than Jawas.
Sorry, they get mixed up in my brain because they're like usually like in like the Dark Forces games, especially like Jedi Academy. They're often seen together.
There might be a new Dark Forces game coming out in the list of Star Wars games that are currently in development.
Yeah, they just announced like there are many games on the way.
Yeah, one of them is a first-person shooter, like it's like a narrative puzzle, like a narrative mystery first-person shooter. Which is like Dark Forces.
But yes, and Ugnaught Bounty
Kyle
Hunter was the
Katarn.
sentence that he would have said.
Cool.
Yeah, that's good. There are mercenaries here. There's probably people selling armor.
Should we arm Plunk with a weapon of any sort?
I have a weapon.
Okay.
Besides your force.
I have 2 weapons.
Go.
Do you want to show it
How?
off?
Well,
Evan
and the
says to
stick,
ceiling.
and the stick, sure, and the little floor vent pops open, and just the top half of the stick with 2 gloves at one end pops out, waves around, and then goes back in.
Hey, there we
stick.
go. He has a stick.
You have a
Better than
scrap
nothing,
metal
I
walking
suppose.
stick.
I mean, I've seen less effective weapons that
How
have
are
been
you-
used to good
Comes
effect.
back out, and then suddenly there's a lightsaber blade that erupts out of one end of it.
Okay.
Huh.
And,
There we go.
All right
and
then.
there's a bit of a jitter to the blade as well.
What color is it?
Just green.
Okay. Unstable green.
Yep. Turns
Oh.
off and then goes back down.
Rozzy will pat Plunk on the head. You are well prepared.
Reach down into the vent, pat him on the head.
Bap, bap, bap.
We
Yep.
will get you armor though.
Okay.
You're still squishy.
I know.
So, the pieces of the plan that I've heard so far that haven't been actually collated into a plan are
Welcome to Final Show Films, everybody.
find the source of whatever the hunger is, or at least whatever is spurring it on.
Correct.
Ask about a speeder. Maybe do some mercenary work.
Well, are they going to let us leave the starport without
Ask
having
about-
been fully vetted yet?
Ask about being able to leave the starport.
Yeah.
So let's
Keel
switch
of
those
Ozzy.
around. We take the one we just said and we put that in the first position. We take the speeder, we put that in second position.
And then
And then we
mercenary
sort of-
work can lead us around towards finding
Yeah.
the source of hunger.
We sort of mix up the mercenary and source thing into sort of a quiche.
Weren't we also going to ask about like some form of antidote?
Yes,
Yeah.
also
For this,
Raccool
yeah.
serum.
Yeah.
Ask about anti-rat gold juice.
Yes.
We use that as seasoning for
On the
part
quiche.
1. No, for part 1.
Gives it a kick.
And here's a dish I've already prepared.
All right.
And
That's
Plunk
the
puts
plan.
2 pieces of bread, one on either side of his head, and goes, "I'm an idiot sandwich."
Listen,
Anything-
I'm not saying that I keep talking about food because of this fucking planet, but
Anything else in the plan, or is that the full thing?
That is
Having-
the steps, that is the individual phases of the plan, aside from whatever Mara might have to add.
And having a step in there of like, hey, let's sleep in a Bacta tank tonight.
Oh, yes, medical attention, specifically.
Oh, I was hoping you'd forget about that.
No.
That is
See, we'll say.
that is the aperitif to step 1.
Mm.
You're really going all in on this metaphor, aren't you?
Listen, why
Jen
would
just-
you
Jen
not?
Jen just chimes in aperitif.
You shut up.
Which language is that from, anyway?
It's
It's French, I think.
I was gonna say I would assume French, but
No,
I'm not
what
sure.
is French?
in.
Oh,
in
okay.
universe.
Oh, are you talking about in this?
It's
I would
ancient-
assume. I feel like
it's-
Corellian is French,
I
isn't
feel-
it?
No,
I don't know.
Corellian is
I feel
Italian.
like
it's
Oh,
ancient
I feel
yeah.
like
Italian.
Zeltron is French. Therefore, I pronounced it correctly.
You can be a native speaker of your language and pronounce words incorrectly, i.e.,
Listen to-
English.
Yeah,
I
listen
do
to
it all the
me.
time.
Yes, that is true. However, are you going to go up to somebody who is a native speaker if you're not and tell them they pronounced it wrong?
Yes, frequently.
I mean, that's because you're John.
No, I'm talking about people doing that to English speakers.
English doesn't count.
Play language. Anyway, we have a
Say
plan.
exactly. Yes.
You're so good at this.
All right. So, who wants to engage step 1 of the plan? Ask if you can leave.
I guess Corserath will.
Oh, Plunk has a hand up.
Oh no.
Plunk, you head off before
All
anyone can
right.
stop you. No.
Yes. Yes.
You
It's
pilot
about
the
we're
ship
just like,
into the wall.
where did the Jawa
Clank,
go?
clank,
Oh
clank,
shit.
clank, clank. Oh yeah, no, he's like already 200 yards out and whatever the opposite of closing is.
So, who's going to go and talk to the governor?
I said Corserath, probably.
I'll go-
Or
I will
unless
go
SD
with-
wants to.
I'll go. It should be more than one person.
Okay.
I like the idea that you two catch up to Plunk while he's trying to communicate. No, I don't have an appointment. I just really need to talk to somebody.
I'm supposed to get healed.
Yes. So please
Why,
stay here and
you're staying.
let Maurice handle your medical attention.
Fine.
So, SD Corsarat, are you just gonna go walk up to a guard and talk to him first, or are you gonna?
I believe we have an extranet profile to find the governor to ask questions.
He'd say that his extranet DMs were open.
So
Allow me to slide in.
yeah, I'm about to say.
Well done.
SD slides into those DMs. How do you slide in?
I will just
You up?
WID.
No, absolutely not. No, I'm a myself because it would not just be a hey. Hello, would you have an appropriate time in the immediate future to talk about some things? So we have some questions.
After a few. Of course, I can always make time for some of my new favorite arrivals. Let's say in an hour in the cafeteria.
Delightful.
Charmed.
We got an hour.
All right. I suppose.
Plunk off to one side, arguing with a guard.
Right.
Let's just let it happen. I want to see
Want
how
to
this
keep
plays
the
out.
I don't know what you're saying.
I want.
Nope.
I was gonna say I don't know how
speak-
many people on this planet speak Jawa.
That's
I don't
that's why I want to
speak
see how
scrap-
this plays out.
I don't speak scrap monkey.
Now I really want to see how
Oh.
this plays out.
I just like to imagine that no one knows
What
a
kind of
Jawa
armor is this guy wearing?
Ceramic armor.
Oh no.
I just like to think that like, he has no idea what a Jawa is. He just sees a small bipedal thing that has scrap hanging off of him. So scrap monkey.
Plunk very ineffectually tries to punch him in the knees. Just
Ting, 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 ting.
It's the equivalent, probably, with my brawn of 1 of like, a 9-year-old trying to, beat up a security guard.
He looks over at the other guard with a terrified look on his face. I don't want to kill him, but I don't know what to do.
I'm so excited to see how this finishes up.
The guards are they're sort of trying to panic back and forth between each other about how to peacefully resolve this situation with this little Jawa ineffectually punching their knees.
Corserath sighs and walks over.
Spoil sport.
Plunk, that's enough. And then he looks down at Plunk and says that, and then looks up at the guard. My companion is offended that you have referred to him as a scrap monkey.
I mean, I don't know what he is.
He is a Jawa, the native to the planet Tatooine.
Well, I don't speak Jawa.
Yanks on Corserath wears kind of like a tunic with armor, basically,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right. Yanks on that. Tell him I'm a duke.
He'll communicate back in Jawa for a little bit. What's your full title so I can present it properly?
First Imperator Duke of the Jundland Wastes.
His name is Plunk Kekak, First Imperator Duke of the Jundland Wastes. Can I roll charm?
Just dusts his robes off and tries to stand up as straight as he possibly can.
Plunk roll charm with
excellent
with 2 disadvantage dice, 2 setback dice.
2 setback dice. Okay. Difficulty 2. Stand up.
You definitely look more like a scrap monkey and less like a duke.
It's 3 failures, but an advantage. Can I recover a straight?
And Corserath roll me charm with 2 setback because he just spent the last 30 seconds punching him in the knees.
Which, to
3
be
successes
fair,
and an advantage.
is exactly what a duke would do.
Fair, yes, but it's less about whether or not he believes you and more about whether or not he has the appropriate reaction.
I mean, cultural centric bastards, but
I have 3 successes and an advantage. I have the exact opposite of Plunk's.
I like
troopers. They're not diplomats.
No.
Actually, can
Absolutely.
I roll? Can I just really quickly roll 3 force dice in there to use my influence?
Sure.
I just want to see if it makes it better.
There's
It doesn't. I'm not a Darksider, so no.
There's absolutely a reason for their speciesism. I'm just saying that doesn't mean it's not speciesism.
They're troopers. They don't have. Oh, they have discipline. We'll use discipline. Are you a minion? You gotta tell me if you're a minion. You gotta tell me.
Also, I like the image in my head of Corserath at full size, just speaking Jawa with Plunk, so it just sounds like a very deep version of a normal Jawa voice.
Fuck yeah.
So you and they sort of straighten up a little bit, but the one that was talking originally continues to talk. Well then, with all respect to his dukeness, I don't speak Jawa. If he has a question, he should use his translator.
I look down at him. I suppose I'm your translator, he says in Jawa.
Tell him I'm over it, and walks out.
He has taken offense and will take his business elsewhere.
Very well.
His business with the guards?
Yeah, find a different guard to question.
It's like that
They're not working off commission.
I just like that the booster the guard has had no effect. He just rolled 3 successes and a triumph. So he's like,
Just boom.
I'm not intimidated at all. Look, dude,
This is
I've
customer
had-
service. I do this every day.
I've had cannibalistic monsters from ages past trying to eat me for the past 3 months. You don't scare me. It's just like you getting very upset, like a Karen getting very upset at someone who just got done murdering a zombie horde. Like, sure, Susan. All right. Like,
I like the fact that Courthouse is basically acting a glorified protocol droid there.
Excellent. When we get back to Tatooine, you'll be appointed by Major Domo.
comes to the hut. My barony, behold.
It's mostly sand. Ah, yes.
Or throughout the walk back with Plunk.
Fortunately, you will have to change your first name to Bib.
Sand Bib Fortuna. This is my new Star Wars OC, Bumblebee Tuna.
Bumblebee tuna.
Listen, let's not pretend that George Lucas would not do that
Right?
and think it's clever for a fish person.
No, it's not a fish person. That's the trick, though. It's not a fish person. It's a Jawa. It's a Jawa named Bumblebee Tuna.
That would not be thematically appropriate, says George.
Yes, right.
Elan Sleaze Bagano.
Elan Sleaze Bagano. I'm gonna make a character that is the that is the ancestor, the originator of the Sleaze Bagano line.
You do that.
Work on
I mean,
Narshada.
Something like that would be entirely appropriate for a Jawa because they're the foreign others of Tatooine and thus must be referred to as villains in Lucas's world.
He's a Balasar, so there's your species.
Anyway.
Also, I love the poor writer who tried to make that name work by changing it to Celsa Bagano or to Celsa Bagno.
Yeah, no. Lots of people try to fix what
Sort of bullshit has originated in this universe from time to time.
I will I will point out the planet that exists in canon called Nubia.
God.
Yep.
What do you mean it's a country? Anyways, an hour passes. The governor arrives. Is it just Esty and Korsrath, or did you retrieve anybody else for the meeting with the governor?
I mean, whoever's coming.
And Plunk.
I was about to say, unless Plunk decided to come along.
That would have required Plunk to have left.
Yeah, I was about to say.
So, the three of you sit down at a table with the governor, who has a bottle of wine delivered, pours it. So, what burning questions can I answer for you?
Well, first on the list is, are we, at the very least, allowed to leave the confines of the camp in order to pursue mercenary work of any kind?
Certainly. If you so desire, though I do caution, of course, the surface of Terrace is not the safest place at the moment, and we have no security responsibility beyond our camp, so I'm not able to guarantee your safety.
Which brings us to a second question. Have your scientists developed a serum for preventing Raccool infection?
Insofar as one that works, no. I do understand that we do have a forward outpost not too far away, about 4 or 5 hours ride by speeder. that is currently working with the remnants of an old hospital and the computers that are still working within it. It seems that on ancient Terrace, the rat ghouls were already a known threat, and there had been advances towards a vaccine. But when Terrace was destroyed, those advances were tragically lost. They're working to recreate the work that was done, but it takes time. But if you'd like to lend a hand, I'm sure they could always use those of good character.
I am slightly disappointed that his response was not that work. No, but we have several that don't. Would you like to take one of those? They come in different flavors.
Which then leads to the third question of transport. Will we be able to procure a speeder for moving quickly or outside the facility?
We have speeders that are available for maneuvering between bases. As far as free roaming, there are certainly those that have speeders that they might lend to you, but if you don't have your own, we're not going to be able to provide you one aside from
Aside from taxi
transportation.
services.
Precisely.
Good to know. Am I missing anything, Esty?
Just a curiosity question.
Good.
I don't know if this is something that you would be particularly aware of, but do you know where we've been told, we've noticed, and etc., that there are several examples of abnormal activity here, rat ghouls, the animals apparently being particularly aggressive towards droids and machinery and the like, other such things. Is there any theories or information or the like regarding the source of all of this?
Well, I mean, other than the fact that Terrace is a desolate wasteland that was destroyed by Sith fire, there are nothing particularly designated as a source. It all seems to be a fairly natural occurring phenomenon. Though if you're looking for places where the activity is more dense, there's we definitely see that there are in the municipal utility settlements. There are a number of open access to underground areas. There was an extensive sewer system in Undercity in Terrace before it was destroyed. Unfortunately, the Undercity was used as Undercities often are in such planet-wide cities where the poor and the downtrodden were sent down there. Fortunately, they were the ones that survived, but unfortunately, many of them were mutated in the process. We surmise that there is certainly some number of hives within the Undercity that we haven't been able to dig out, as it were, which would likely be rat ghoul spawning grounds. Aside from those, just beyond our forward reclamation base, there is the crashed remains of a Republic carrier from the war 300 years ago. I believe it's the Brental Star, I think. I had to look at the records to confirm, but there have been some activities amongst pirate factions that have moved in to claim certain aspects of Terrace that we've had some hostile action against. They have been bringing mechanical soldiers that, while not effective in the wilderness at large, are effective at defending their camp. Maybe what's causing hostility towards droids. As to anything else, nothing in specific that jumps out to mind.
Fair enough.
This crashed starship, the Brental Star. Is there any more information on it as to why it might be a hub of activity?
Well, it was the only Republic. It was the first Republic ship to be shot down prior to Terrace landing, or prior to Terrace being destroyed. It was a Republic cruiser of some kind, potentially I believe our military advisors say it was likely a transport, military transport. Though
How big?
Well, large as a transport can be. That's fairly large.
Out of game, whether this guy, I don't know whether this guy is just like giving certain information or if it's just actual confusion. That would have been the Endar Spire if you're talking about the one from KOTOR.
Yes. It
Yeah,
would
okay.
it would be the Endar Spire. The Brentel Star was another one that was shot down.
Yeah, the Brentel Star was shot down in the Cold War.
Yeah.
So around this era.
Right. That's the more recent one, which is why he would have it confused, actually, because that would
Yeah.
be a report he would have seen recently. So it would be realistically, yes, it's the Endar Spire that he's talking about, but he is saying the Brentel
He is saying
Star.
Brentel Star. Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, it was the first one to be shot down. As to importance, I'm certain there's some sort of record or activity that might be relevant to military interests aboard, but we haven't been able to get too many people nearby due to ongoing pirate activity. Though I do understand that there is a Republic Special Forces unit that is set to attempt to infiltrate the vessel and recover any data they can find.
That covers most of my needs for information. SD, do you have anything else?
I think that's it. Appreciate it.
Of course, I'm always happy to answer
very
questions.
forthcoming, and that is quite appreciated.
But of course, always happy to answer questions and help out those people who would be helping my constituents. And you can definitely tell that he's like, as far as he's concerned, this is upside. Either you're bad for him and you die, or you're good for him and you do good things for his people.
Right.
Really, there's not really much that goes wrong for him here.
I mean, don't underestimate how wrong things can really go.
I mean, yeah. That's why not much, not nothing.
If we're monsters and we decide we're successful and we find something that we can corrupt and make even more evil.
At that point, he just sicks the Jedi on you.
But it's too late then.
He doesn't know that. He's not a
But
Jedi.
anyway.
There.
He's just a diplomat.
I was going to say, as a diplomat, sick the Jedi on them is usually the final response.
Exactly. Sick the Jedi on him. That makes the problem go away.
Or the Jedi go away.
I mean,
Which is also another making a problem go away.
That's a different problem that gets to go away.
That is not unfair.
Again, very little goes wrong for him in this position.
Very well. I think that answers all of our questions then.
Yep.
But yes, feel free to avail yourself of the people that are seeking assistance from mercenaries. So you can make a bit of Republic credits at the same time.
Yeah, I'm afraid I'm currently only stocked up on Hutcoin.
Yes, Hutcoin has been taking a bit of a hit in Republic markets ever since they managed to crack the sphere chain technology it uses.
No.
The Huts would be the ones to use Bitcoin.
It's cartel coin, thank you very much.
Yeah, cartel coin, right. This cartel coin is worth 10,000 Republic credits.
Hammerhead class is a silhouette 5. Plunk can't lift that out of the ground.
Yet.
You are not.
Yeah.
What you're telling me is you're not Star Killer.
Nope.
Need one more
Not
die-
yet.
Need one more die for that.
Yeah.
You don't suck hard enough to be Star Killer.
Hey,
I will take that as a compliment.
It was meant
Hey.
as one.
some of the best people I know suck very hard. Thank you very much.
I'm not talking about in the good way.
We're definitely still on
Wow.
Terrace.
Something in the air. Who knows?
With that dealt with,
All right.
that answers most of our questions.
I think so.
Shall we go and check on Avazia?
In the meantime, Nerees, you pin Avasia to a table.
Like a
And-
butterfly?
You don't have to pin me.
I ask her.
It was more sexual than a butterfly. But anyways, you operate.
You're a droid.
That doesn't mean there are sex bots
Reese is not
canonically
interested
in Star
that.
Wars.
Well, he's not interested in that either.
Everyone is both very hungry and very horny on this planet. They are hungry, yes.
Paris, planet of the Horngry.
Planet of the Horned Gree. All right, so go ahead and make your medicine checks for whatever critical injuries are still there.
There's a
What you
difficulty
got?
2 and 2 difficulty 1s.
Yeah,
Okay.
what he
We'll
said.
start with the 2.
Start with the 2 and move to the 1s.
I'm still clamping down force stuff because Nerees is nervous and. Yep.
Nerees is nervous, and when Nerees is nervous, they bring out the clamps.
Okay,
Bad
that
as it
one
clamps.
failed. So now we go to the ones. Actually, I can re-roll that. I'm gonna do that.
Go ahead.
God
And
damn
there it goes again.
Yep. You're just
You are
not getting that
destined
one
to
healed.
not restore that critical injury.
Yep. Here's the difficulty
Wow.
ones. Apologies.
No, thank
You
you,
rolled
for,
the-
for
you
trying.
rolled-
Oh
hang on.
God. Okay, I got one of them.
You rolled the exact same, almost the exact same thing
Yeah.
on both of those first 2 rolls.
Was that for one of the ones?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey.
Got one of them.
Thank
And
you.
2. Oh,
I'll
God.
say you can spend those triumphs to roll
Yeah?
again on the other 2 critical wounds.
On the other 2? Okay, I'll do that. So here's the other one. I'm gonna go backwards this time.
Okay.
That one's gone.
Awesome.
And
I just have one left.
here we go.
The
Come
diff
on.
2, yeah. There you go.
Hey!
So because of the amount of rolls it took, even with the triumphs, you're still it's going to take the rest of the day to finish this
Okay.
operation. So by the time that Corserath and Esty and Plunk get back, you're still working in the in the medical bay.
Okay.
It's like doors closed. You can talk to the communicators, but like this is a sanitary operating theater. No one's getting in or out.
I'm gonna make awkward.
No matter
small
how
talk
much
at
you scream.
I'm gonna make
How
awkward small
ominous.
talk.
Let's hear the awkward small talk. Come on.
How's your
It's not
day?
infected, so that's good.
What'd you say?
It's not infected, so that is good.
Good.
What you doing?
Oh, Mara, I can think of a character that doesn't invite chaos of yours.
What? Okay.
Frank.
Oh, Frank's adorable. Yes, that's true.
Frank is not a disaster.
No,
gremlin
Frank's very lawful.
yet.
Hang.
Give
Anyway.
it time. The inner Mara has just not come out of the character yet.
Frank is a oozling paladin.
Oh, Frank is so like me. Don't worry.
Frank is a
Frank,
slime.
Frank will get there.
Frank is a slime in a suit of armor, and Frank has 20 hit points, and it's the most in the party.
Right. For level 2.
I was
Anyway.
gonna say, well, yes, at level 2 that would make sense.
Yeah, Frank's a sturdy boy for a level
Now,
2.
if that's level 10, you have issues.
No, it's
No,
not.
that's
Or
level
you're
10,
Jeremy, one of
or-
the two.
Or L.
I was like, L would be the one to have 20 hit points at level 10.
Interestingly
L
enough-
still had 12 hit points at level 5 in Final Fantasy 14.
Interestingly enough, right now it's Zagrod.
Oh,
Who's playing
no.
the character with the -2 Constitution modifier.
Are you doing the minimum 1 rule, or are you letting them lose hit points?
I am doing the minimum 1. I am not. I will not make people go, "Yay, you leveled up." You lose hit points.
Same. I use the same rule, and it disappoints L every time.
Yeah, no, because also Zagrog is playing a wizard, so that would mean there would be a 33% chance
Of losing hit points, yeah.
of losing hit points.
Weather seems nice.
Yeah.
The D&D
The,
conversation was happening outside the door between Essie and Coursera.
You want to talk, Nereis? Because I have no problem sitting here in silence.
Yes.
Yes, Dunes and Dragons was a Tatooine-made role-playing game system. The crate dragons are supposed to be the most dangerous things in the system.
Weirdly enough, none of the
trying to get
GMs really
serious
generally
here.
let you fight a crate dragon, however.
See, I never understood people who play that game. Like there isn't enough bad shit in the world. You need to make more.
Ugh.
Also, nerds.
Sorry, I just wasn't. We don't talk a whole lot, so I thought
Yeah.
maybe like
Yeah,
they-
what do you want to talk about? You want to talk about Jash? You want to talk about what happened back there? So we got a lot we could talk about.
No.
All right, well, you wanted to talk. I'm just throwing out topics here.
How about my question? You know, have you figured out like your answer to that?
What question? Like out of game, what question was that?
The Nereus had like at the beginning really wanted to get the Twilight Order back together, and Avazia and Corsarath were like, I'm not really sure, and Avazia was specifically like, no, I need time to think about that.
Mhm.
So Nereus is bringing that back up because Plunk brought it up, and now it's on Nereus's mind.
Well, I haven't really had time to think about it. There's been a lot happening,
Like Jack
if you haven't noticed.
Yeah. Like Jash.
Yeah, we lost another member of the Twilight Knights.
I know. I poke a part of a wound that is probably slightly too hard.
Take 1 point of strain.
I believe the original creator of the game was a chiss by the name of Gar Igaxilan.
Gosh, William. I'm gonna hit you later.
Like I said, fucking nerd.
I've never heard that name before, and I grew up on Tatooine, but he sounds like an asshole.
I bet he is.
I made an error.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like just now, or
Do you want to tell me what exactly happened back there?
Well, your tibia is not supposed to go here for one.
Hang on. This will numb. I spray something. We were going along a corridor, and there was a room, I could sense Nibishuza's presence behind it. I wanted to investigate. I thought he was alive. And Josh thought it was a trap, but
Josh was right.
he still wanted to go look if that is what I wanted. So
I see.
you're patched up now.
Thank you. Navazi will put a hand on Neri's shoulder. It's not your fault. She will walk out.
Into the middle of a conversation about dunes and dragons.
See, okay, here's the thing.
And then punch her spouse.
In my headcanon, this may not be the case, but my headcanon is they were 100% listening to, viewing this conversation on the what was going on in there in some kind of communication system and having the conversation in the process.
So
What? I'm discussing esoteric forms of entertainment.
You've been
I'm allowed to have hobbies.
and on that note, we're going to end for the week. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.